Hey guys, in this particular video I'm going to be discussing how to create paragraph styles in InDesign. So before we begin here, I got a new document with some dummy type thrown in here, and I want to point out that it's separated into different paragraphs as we discussed in class. And before we get started with the styles, we're going to go up to the window menu to get the panel for it, go down to the styles option, and from here we're going to select paragraph styles. Now the paragraph styles dialog box opens up, or panel opens up, and it also contains the character styles as well. We'll talk about the character styles in a different video. But as far as a paragraph style goes, a paragraph style is formatting that you can apply to a paragraph or a range of paragraphs. So in this example, or the example that we discussed in class, where you have a 20-page document where you're creating a layout, a portfolio, a little book, you're going to have text on each page. And if you apply a style to your text and you need to make a change to it, when you make the change to the style, it will apply to the other 20 pages as well. So first thing I want to do is come over here to the paragraph style and create a new style. When you do so, it begins as paragraph style 1. The next style will be paragraph style 2 and style 3 and so on. Now the way that we work with text in InDesign is that all you have to do is have the cursor inside of a paragraph, and InDesign will recognize the entire paragraph. You don't have to select the entire body of text. Okay, so coming back over to the paragraph styles panel here, I'm going to rename this or change the attributes in here, and we do that by double clicking on the name. So I double click on paragraph style 1, it opens up the options dialog box. Now by default the preview is not checked, so you want to put a check mark in it so that you can see a live update here. So at the top we have the style name, so we can change the name right from the start, and I will call this body copy. And over on the left hand side we have a list of attributes that we can change, starting with general going all the way down to export tagging. We're not going to take a look at every single one of these options in here, and that's simply because we don't use them, or we don't use all of them for the work that we're doing. So in this first dialog box under general, we have a based on, and then we have a next style. So you can, when you have multiple styles, you can base them off of previous styles that you've created, or when you hit a hard return, you can have a new style automatically being applied. So we talked about that in class as well. Now, next thing I want to do is go to basic character formats. From here, we have the ability to choose our font family and then the style, the size, and such. So from the drop-down menu here, I'm going to go down and choose Myriad Pro. When I do this and apply this, and you'll see that the text now changes in this paragraph that I have selected at the top. Point size is set to 11 right now. You can increase that if I wanted to, and as I do so, you see how it just applies to this one paragraph. So everything is live here. I'll take that back down to 12, and as far as leading goes, same thing. You can change the amount of leading that's applied to the lines as well, tracking and kerning as well. I'm going to skip over the next one and go down to indents and spacing. With indents and spacing, this is where you can choose your alignment. Left, center, right, and then we have our justify options as well. We can also adjust our indents from here. So if we need to increase the indent on a specific paragraph or areas within the body of the work itself. The one that I really want to focus on in this particular area outside of the alignment is the space after. Space after right now I already increased the value for it, but what I do want to point out is that when you have paragraphs, when you're writing papers, like if you're using Microsoft Word, for example, you hit a return to create a space in between paragraphs. Then you hit a second return to start a new paragraph. With space after, all you have to do is increase this value, and what it's going to do is it's going to automatically add space in between, so you don't need a second return. This makes it a lot easier when you're talking about multiple pages of text that need to be changed. So I'll just leave this set right now to the values that I have here. Next option down is tabs. We talked about how you can work with tabs for individual styles as well. And hyphenation was another one that I pointed out to you guys where it's on by default. If you're like myself where I don't like hyphenating my text, you can take the hyphenation check mark out. Drop caps as well. How many lines you want the drop cap to cover and how many characters as well. All right, then the last thing that we're going to take a look at is the character color here. So by default, it's set to black. And depending on what colors that you have set up already, those colors will be listed here. So if I wanted to change the text to red, for example, I can click on the red option, and now we can see that it's live and it applies. You can also change the tint if you needed to. So once the style is all set up, just go ahead and hit OK. If I need to apply this style to the rest of the text, I can hit select all, for example, or I can highlight a specific paragraph if it's only going to be used for a single paragraph, and simply come up here and click on body copy. That will now apply it to the rest of the paragraphs. Now, the best use for styles is when you have to make changes. So if there's a change that needs to be made here, all I have to do is double click on body copy to relaunch the options dialog box. And then let's say, for example, that it's the color. I can go to character color, change that to black, and it now changes on every page. So again, for example, if we have a 20-page document and it's red on every page, the text will change to black for every single one of those pages. Same thing if we go back to basic character formats, if we wanted to change our font or change our size or whatever it may be. All right, so that's how you use paragraph styles. Very simple. I encourage you guys to learn how to use them because the styles are in all the Adobe products, and you can also use them in Word as well. In the next video, we're going to talk about character styles. So good luck, and I'll see you in the next one.